In my previous lecture, I discussed how marriage was invented as a social contract to address infidelity between men and women, rather than as a means of elevating love. Today, I will delve into the essence of what marriage truly is. Is marriage about love? This is a romantic misconception. In 1971, a romantic young man wrote a love poem to his bride and placed it in a message in a bottle, which he then threw into the Pacific Ocean between Seattle and Hawaii. 10 years later, someone jogging along the coast near Guam discovered the poem in the bottle. The poem read, "When you read this letter, I may already be a gray-haired old man, but I believe our love will still be as vibrant as it is now. It may take a week or even years for this letter to reach you. Even if it never reaches you, I will always remember that I will do anything to prove my love for you. Your husband, Bob." When the person who found the poem called the bride, who had divorced the man years earlier, and read the poem to her, she burst out laughing, and continued to laugh harder and harder. Finally, she said, "We've been divorced for years," and hung up the phone. Most people get married, but if you expect marriage to be like the wedding vows that say, "To love and to cherish, till death do us part," then you are mistaken. Let me show you some divorce statistics. Data from the United States shows that 80% of people get divorced, and only 20% stick it out until the end. The reasons for divorce are many, including children, in-laws, infidelity, financial disputes, and so on. But these reasons do not explain why the divorce rate is so high. So, let's trace back to the root and ask ourselves, why do we get married? If you haven't heard my previous lecture, you would probably say, we get married because we deeply love each other. I want to tell you another interesting statistic. A global survey on marriage shows that 85% of people say they would never consider a marriage without love. Even a considerable number of people say they are willing to sacrifice their personal lives for their loved ones. You see, on the one hand, there is a high divorce rate, and on the other hand, people believe that marriage is about love. What is the relationship between marriage and love? The relationship between marriage and love is a modern invention. If you look at the history of human civilization, you will be surprised to find that marriage and love were not related at all in the beginning. The relationship between them is a concept that we invented in modern times. In primitive societies, marriage was an agreement between tribes or nations, used to strengthen alliances, repay debts, pay war reparations, or produce offspring. In ancient Greece and Rome, if someone said they felt love because of marriage, they would be considered crazy or sick. In the 12th century, Europeans both married and fell in love, but the objects of marriage and love were completely different. They got married for interests such as family alliances and inheritance, while love was a social game between unmarried men and women, only happening on a spiritual level without physical contact, a platonic love. It was not until the 17th century, when wealth accumulated, that the function of marriage as an exchange of interests began to weaken. At this time, Europeans began to have the crazy idea of linking marriage and love together. Therefore, marrying for love is not the original intention of human invention of marriage. The relationship between marriage and love is just a concept invented in modern times. However, like the banana-loving monkey in the first lecture, we believe that love and marriage are inseparable, neglecting the function of marriage itself, and not knowing how to manage marriage, which ultimately leads to marriage failure and divorce.